It took me about 5 minutes to realize that this piece is something that we had to have implemented directly into our acceleration training.
It gives you such resistance on there, you get so used to that and you have to work so hard to get off the line, but by the time you take it off, you're exploding off the line.
They're going to look at this piece and instantly see applications across the board.
We use it like when we're doing 40-yard accelerations and with the run rocket attached to you so it's resisted. You take it off after that and you're just like so much more explosive and so fast.
It's all about loading concentrically acceleration, and there's really no other tool out there that does what the Run Rocket does. It's very user-friendly. It's also adaptable on the fly where there's not a lot of equipment changing needed to be done. Highly mobile, we can move it to different venues, be it indoors, outdoors, on the track, on the field, on the court. And it scales up and down from the 12-year-old user all the way up to the older NFL 300-pound plus athletes. Here at Michael Johnson Performance, we use it predominantly for our acceleration training, and that means going from point A to point B, either from a static position or a rolling position, very, very fast. And we implement it as a form of resistance training on top of those patterns that are most specific to the sport. For our other athletes, for instance, our angular athletes, more of our football athletes or our soccer athletes, where we're working acceleration patterns that are nonlinear in nature. We're able to use specific loading patterns, a little bit different harness setup, and the highest adjustment setting on the Run Rocket to attack those angular acceleration patterns. But the limitations on it are only on the side of your imagination. We're using it for performance training for the Dallas Stars, for FC Dallas Soccer, and for the Dallas Cowboys. And I can tell you that there's members of those teams, all three of those teams, that are using the Run Rocket on a weekly basis when they're here training at Michael Johnson Performance. The first place we used the Run Rocket was with our NFL athletes. And one of the things that we're always working on with those folks is the first 3 steps of separation from a static position. And very quickly we figured out that it's not just from a linear standpoint that they need that there's also some angular things, some of our defensive backs coming from a static position or a 2-step position into a drop step. Maybe it's a soccer athlete moving into a zone drop position where he's trying to zone up and mark a defender. The folks that are in the day-to-day trenches that are doing that, they're not just dabbling in it, they're doing it day-to-day trying to get their athletes faster. And then we're also using it with our track athletes at higher end speeds with a lower resistance, more in that transition acceleration. So they're moving out of their start into that transition to top end speed. And because the Run Rocket's able to go over the 40-yard mark, we're able to work that 15, 20 yards to 30-yard transition zone where we're able to transition a bit smoother. So the applications for us started in football, transcended into track, and now it's everybody. As I said, the golf instructor wants to figure out some ways to use it for some rotary concentric force development. He'll disconnect, and me as a coach, all I have to do is stand here. He can drop the cable. I can just make sure that it comes back right up to the next athlete. I don't have to bend over, and now KD's doing the same thing. Because she weighs a little bit less, I'm going to turn the resistance down. It's also very safe, and it's something that you're not going to get a lot of soreness from using. And I have not seen any chinks in this thing's armor to date, and we're using it on a daily basis with multiple athletes. It's the most innovative piece of acceleration equipment that's come on the market in the last 10 years, in my opinion.